guys, what's up? Thanks for coming. Yeah, what? Why am I so awkward right now? I don't know. But I decided to just throw something on. Hope you guys like this purple that I have going on for my hair. Just decided to throw it on. Doesn't even really care how it looks. I bought this a while ago and had never had any headbands or anything like that to put on with it, and now that I do, trying out something new. So we may see an appearance of her again. I don't know. I gotta do something to figure out how to tame this bad boy. But last week was all about video production and getting all the projects that I have coming up. I actually scheduled a couple of them and done the recordings and have the editing and stuff like that. So you guys are getting some very special videos that are going to be coming up in March and April. And I'm super excited to release this stuff for you guys. So there is that. But on that note, my medication is still doing some weird wonky things, and I have to be careful with the other medications that I take with it. So I have been dealing with the influx of that. So I received this box in the mail a while ago, like a week or two ago or something like that. But this is the first chance that I've gotten to open it for you guys. It comes from the author Lisa Renee Jones, and I'm kind of excited to check this out. I was going to read her necklace series, I think it was, and then this is a new series that she has coming out. She mostly dabbles in romantic suspense, and so let's see what she decided to send me in this box, because I don't know what it is. So it's a little goodie box, and we have some chocolates here, which I'm sure my child will enjoy. It is 7 Delicious Sins, and she has Lucifer Sin coming out March the 22nd. And it says, please excuse Lucifer. He thought he was supposed to be the seventh delicious sin. So super excited for that. And then also in here we have some little devil horns. Yes, yes, love that. And a cute little sleeper mask. Wonder what that goes to. And she also sent me a book card. So let's open that up and see. It is... It says, open for Lucifer's 7 Sexy Sins. Get ready to meet the latest member of Walker Security, to meet the women who bring him to his knees. To meet the woman who will bring him to his knees. I can't read right there. And then, of course, there's a little blurb. So we have 3 books coming out, and the Walker series. The first one is Lucifer's Sin. We have Lucifer's Touch, and then we have Lucifer's Revenge. And I will put all that info right there for you guys to check out. Screenshot it so you can know. I'll put that in our description box as well. And then there's a sweet little note in here. Her Lucifer series is about an FBI agent that's getting back in reach and never letting go. So kind of can't wait for that. It's going to be really, really interesting. So there's that. So let's get into the books that I did read last week. And starting it off, we have The Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams. Move over here for you guys. The Perfect Ruin by Shanora Williams. I'm placing this in thriller. Giving it 2.5 to 3 stars. Still not really set on where I kind of want to place that. Give it 2 Steams fans. Listen to this as an audiobook. This is a Black author. This has content warnings for mental health, for miscarriage, for cheating, for sexual assault, for revenge, and for corporate and like law cover-ups. So there's some things that are going on in it. And there's a story between Ivy and Lola. Ivy is seeking revenge on Lola because she feels that Lola did something in her past that kind of changed the way that it goes. Ivy finds out Lola's name as she's finishing up with her Ivy's therapist. Wow, let me see if I can get their names right. So Ivy's going to a therapist. Her therapist ends up giving Lola's name to Ivy, saying that, this is the reason why you think this way, or has to do with her parents' case and things like that kind of changed her life. And I just felt that the story was really kind of clunky, and it moved in a slower manner, and we got a lot of point of view from some characters that I was just like, why do I need to have that? And then some of the twists and turns that ended up happening, it was just like, maybe it's because I don't read a lot of thrillers that this just didn't really sit well with me. So someone that loves thrillers may really, really, really enjoy this book. But as a primarily romance reader, it just didn't work for me. It didn't work for me. Next, we have Filthy Professor by Niquel. This is a dark, taboo romantic suspense that I didn't see the romantic suspense coming at all. I'm giving it 4 stars, giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as an arc. It actually releases either today or tomorrow. Well, actually, when you guys see this, I don't know when you will see this, but it releases this week. The week that this is being released. So go check it out. It is semi a short novella, but a full story. Loved it. So we have Cass and we have Talon. Cass is a teacher, a professor in college, and him and Talon end up hooking up in Vegas. This is one of those, we're going to hook up in Vegas, and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. But come to find out, Talon is actually in Cass's store, or in his class once he gets back to the college. And initially I reached out and was like, oh, this kind of feels a little immature-ish, because Talon is doing a lot of drinking. She has, the forefront of being someone that's over 21. And as the story progresses, you do find out that she is over 21. So I was like, okay, I'm here for this. I'm fine with this. And, we have the professor, student, teacher thing going on. And if that's not your taboo thing, then you might want to stay away from it. But I really enjoyed it. There are some content warnings for this. We have SA or sexual assault. We have suicide, miscarriage, stalking, inappropriate relations, ex-partner, trauma. We have alcoholism, death, and grief that are discussed within this story. Like I said, some people are going to like it. Some people are not going to like it. I enjoyed it. Next, we have The One Night, which is the reunion prequel by Meghan Quinn, placing this in rom-com, giving this 4 stars, giving it 2.5 Steam fans. Listen to it as an audiobook. This is a novella. Like I said, it's a prequel to the reunion. This follows Cooper and Nora. Cooper and Nora have a connection in which Nora is Cooper's ex-wife's best friend. And they end up being in the same place, in the same bar, and end up doing a one-night stand. And then you're supposed to read the reunion. So the reunion released this week or last week, and I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet, but I'm looking forward to reading it. Then we have Convincing Lina, which is a Bachelors of Shell Cove #2 by Siera London. Why can't I get that name out? Siera London. And I'm placing this in contemporary interracial romance, giving it 4.25 stars, giving it 3 Steam fans. Had this as an audiobook. This is a Black author. There are some content warnings for this. We have racial discussions, drug addiction, PTSD, stalking, abuse, patient conflict of interest. That's what it is. I can't read my own writing, guys. Family drama, drugs. There's some suspense that goes along with this story, and I was here for it. So we have Lina, who is a psychiatric nurse, and then we have Gideon, who is the new psychiatric doctor that is starting some new programs, and he helps or asks Lina to help him with setting up the new programs, and they end up clicking. Now, they ended up having a kissing booth sort of meeting back a couple months ago. If you had read Chasing Ava, then you would have seen or read that kissing scene to know that Gideon was like, I want me some Lina. I want me some Lina, and I'm going to get me some Lina. And in this story, you find out what is going on with Lina, why she is hesitant about being involved with Gideon, and I was here for this story. I am loving these stories that I'm getting from Sierra London with this series, and I cannot wait to read more. Then the final book that I read last week was Restore Me, which is New Haven series number 1 by J.L. Seegars, placing this in contemporary, giving it 3 stars, and that's being very generous. Definitely giving it 4 Steam fans. Had this as an ebook. It's available on KU. This is a Black author. There are content warnings for miscarriage, for domestic violence, for spousal loss or grief, suicide, alcoholism, and I think that may have been it. But we have Dominic, who is Sloane's dead husband's best friend, and the two of them, it's been 4 years since Sloane's husband died, and they're dealing with the fact that maybe there's a love-hate relationship going on. Not even a love-hate. There's an enemies like situation going on, because the whole entire time Sloane was married to Dominic's best friend, he treated her like trash and hated her supposedly. And it was just like, okay, so you get a whole bunch of flashbacks throughout this story, and for it to be almost 500 pages long, I was like, I'm done. It's too long. There's just a lot to this story. This is a debut author and a beloved TikToker that produced this book. So I'm hesitant to be like, oh, the book is trash, because it actually isn't trash. It has a very good premise, and I liked a little bit of the dynamics, but for one, it was way too long. 500 pages for this type of romance just is way too long. There was a lot of non-sexual, like actual intercourse that ended up happening, and we didn't actually get intercourse until like the 60% mark, and I was just like, what sit on my face and jacking him off, and I was just like, but you're not gonna sleep with him, you're not gonna go the full bases, you're not gonna go all the way with it, come on now. And just a whole lot of, oh, I hate you, I hate you, I don't hate you, and it just, it was just not edited enough for me. I don't think enough people had their hands on this or eyeballs on this to say, you don't need this part, you don't need that part. There were way too many other side characters that were involved in this story, and then, oh my goodness, then the ending. There were so many times throughout this entire story that I just wanted to DNF it, because I was just over Dominic and Sloane. I was just like, I don't like either one of them. I don't like them as people. I don't, and I don't want to hear their story. But I pushed through, and I finished the book. But I wasn't happy about it. And then the fact that there was a conflict that happened at probably like the 89% mark, where our couple that is supposed to be together breaks up, and they're not together, and then you close out the book and we supposedly get our happily ever after in the last 20 pages of the book. 20 pages of a 500-page book. I'm all for the angst, but at the same time, that's too much. That is too much Too much, too much, too much. And the right people didn't read this prior to the release and tell this author, that's too much, that we can condense and get rid of some stuff, especially since this is supposed to be a series. Ooh. And I'm all for exploring characters' grief and understand that there may have been grief and stuff like that. But then, oh my goodness, there's so much that I did not like about this book. Just so much. Then there were the pop culture references to Grey's Anatomy and the Meredith and Derek sort of storyline that I was just like, you're dating the book by putting that in there, and I'm not here for that. And, you know, that's one of my favorite shows. I am a diehard Grey's Anatomy fan, but guys, that it was just too much. I was just like, that was like 4 years ago that scene and those scenes ended up happening. Actually, more than that, because and back to what I was saying about the whole grief thing. I know everybody grieves in their own way, but you had the appearance of our characters going to therapy and working on their grief, and 4 years later, we're still grieving. But we're supposed to be convinced that this is supposed to be a couple, that they're over their grief for that lost family member, but they're going to be together now. No. And the fact that people are calling this taboo, there's no taboo about it. Oh, okay. So they were in each other's orbit for like 15 years, like a crazy amount of time that they were like in each other's orbit, because Dominic's best friend, who is Sloane's ex-husband or dead husband, they were roommates while they were in college, and best man when they got married. What? Like, seriously? No, just no. Ugh. Blah. Just a lot more people should have looked at that book before it was put out. And then I'm hesitant, but I'm going there. $10 for a $5 book, for an ebook at that. No, this is why I was glad that it was on KU, because otherwise I would not have read that book, or I would have been real mad and I would have been trying to return it. Okay. For $10 for this 500-page book that needed more. So what am I currently reading? I am currently reading Fool Me Once by Nikki Ash and Mistlefoe by Kimberly Lemming. I'm super excited about both of those. Like I said in the beginning, I am super excited to be putting out the products or the projects that I have coming up. I have more things coming for that, and hopefully I will, continue on with that project for the entire year, and I hope you guys like it. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in another video. If you come with me tonight.